Okay, hello. You're welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is how to divide 3-digit numbers by a 1-digit number. You can use 3 methods to do this depending on the type of number you're given. You could use the long division method, or the short division method, or the reverse of multiplication to solve your division problems. But for this lesson, we'll be using 2 methods, both the long division and the short division. So get your writing materials and let's get started. If you have 980 divided by 4 using long division, there are 5 steps you can follow. The first step is to divide. After you divide, then you multiply. After multiplying, you subtract. After you subtract, then you bring down the next number. After bringing it down, then you repeat the process all over again. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. One more time. You divide, you multiply, you subtract, you bring down, then you repeat the process all over again. So let's begin with this one. You put the 980 in a division bar. This is the dividend. Then the number to divide is called the divisor. So you put it outside. Then you ask yourself a couple of questions. How many groups of 4 do we have in 9? 9 being the first digit. So how many groups of 4 do we have in 9? So let's count. This is 9. How many groups of 4? This is one group and this is another group, and it will remain 1. So you have 2 groups of 4 in 9. Then you put the 2 on top of 9. There's another way to do it faster. You ask yourself, what number multiplied by 4 will give us 9? 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Then 4 times 3 is 12. You see that 12 is more than 9 and 8 is less than 9. So we go for 8. So there are times you say what number multiplied by the dividend will give you the number or anything close to the number. In this case, it's 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So that's why we'll put 2 here. So let's continue. So after dividing, the next thing is you multiply. So let's multiply. The answer, 2 times 4 is 8. So you have 2 times 4, 8. You write the 8. After which you subtract. So 9 minus 8 is 1. Now you are done. You bring down the next one. What's the next number? 8. So now 1 and 8 has become 18. Then you begin the process all over again. What's the first thing? You divide. So let's divide. 4 into 18. The question again, how many groups of 4 do we have in 18? So you can count 18 and then you divide it by 4. Now sometimes when the number is getting bigger, you just go for the second method, which is what number multiplied by 4 will give us 18 or anything close to 18. So what number multiplied by 4? 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. See, 20 is more than 18. And then 16 is less than 18. So let's go for 4 times 4, 16. So you put 4 on top of 8. What's the next step? You multiply. So 4 times 4 will give us 16. You put the 16 under 18. After multiplying, the next step is you subtract. So 18 minus 16 will give us 2. After subtracting, what's the next step? You bring down. What are you bringing down? The next number, which is 0. So you bring down 0 and it meets 2. So 2 and 0 is 20. Now you repeat the process all over again. 4 into 20. How many groups of 4 do we have in 20? So you can count 20 and separate it into 4 groups. You realize that it has given you 5. Or you ask yourself, what number multiplied by 4 will give us 20? 4 times 1, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 5, 20. So we've gotten 5. What are we going to do? You put the 5 on top of 0. After that, the next thing is multiply. So 5 times 4 is 20. So you write the 20 under 20. After which you subtract. 20 minus 20 is 0. After subtracting, what's the next step? You bring down. Is there anything to bring down? No. So the final answer is 0. And the answer has given us 2, 4, 5. So 980 divided by 4 will give us 245. Okay, now let's do the short division method. When you are doing the short division method, you arrange the numbers in this pattern. Then you start from the left to the right. So 4 into 9. How many times will 4 enter 9? How many groups of 4 do we have in 9? We earlier said it's 2. So you write the 2. But it's remaining 1. What will you do to the 1? You put it on 8 and it becomes 18. So how many groups of 4 do we have in 18? We said it's 4. So you put the 4. But it's going to be remaining 2. So you carry the 2 to the other number, which is 0, and it becomes 20. So how many groups of 4 do we have in 20? It's 5. If you want to know, you can also ask yourself, what number multiplied by 4 will give us 20? That is 5. So what we have now is 2, 4, 5. We've succeeded in solving the 980 divided by 4, both with the long division and the short division. Let's look at another number. Now we have 468 divided by 2. So let's quickly do with the long division and the short division method. Step 1 is you put it in the division bar and put the divisor outside. So we have 468 divided by 2. We start from the first digit from the left to the right. How many times will 2 enter into 4? Or how many groups of 2 do we have in 4? So we have 4 and then 2. Just 2 groups. So you put the 2 on top. The next step is to multiply after dividing. So you multiply. 2 times 2 will give us 4. After multiply, what's the next thing? You subtract. So 4 minus 4 is 0. After subtracting, you bring down. So you bring down 6. I'll repeat. 2 into 6. How many groups of 2 do we have in 6? So we have 6, 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3. So you put it up and then you multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. So you write the 6 under 6. Then 6 minus 6 is 0. After subtracting, you bring down. Let's bring down 8. So how many groups of 2s do we have in 8? We have 8 and then 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 groups of 2s in 8. So you put a 4 on top of 8. So 4 multiplied by 2 will give us 8. So you put the 8 under this 8 and you subtract. 8 minus 8 is 0. So you see that it's easy. 468 divided by 2 will give us 234. Let's do the short division method. So we have 468 divided by 2. So we start from the left to the right. 4 divided by 2, that is 2, and you write 2. Then you now have 6 divided by 2 is how many? 3. And finally, 8 divided by 2 will give us 4. So the answer is 2, 3, 4. One more example. Now we have 763 divided by 6. Long division. We'll put the number in the division bar and we'll put the divisor outside. So we have 7 divided by 6. How many times will 6 enter into 7? So we have 7 and then 6 just once and it will remain 1. So you put the 1 on top of 7. So you have 1 multiplied by 6 is 6. After multiplying, you subtract. So let us subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. After that, you bring down. So you bring down 6. Now we have 1 and 6 is 16. So how many groups of 6 do we have in 16? You can count and then you divide. Or you ask yourself, what number multiplied by 6 will give me anything close to 16 or 16 itself? So we have 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 12, 6 times 3 is 18. So you see 18 is more than 16. So we go for 6 times 2, which is 12. So you put 2 on top of 6. So after that you multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. So you write the 12 under 16. After that you subtract. 16 minus 12 is 4. After subtracting, you bring down the next one. What's the next number? Up is 3. You bring it down. 4 and 3 has become 43. So what's the next thing? What number multiplied by 6 will give us 43? That is 7. 6 times 7 is 42. So we have 7 on top of 3. So we have 7 times 6 is 42. We have 43 minus 42 will give us 1. There's nothing to bring down. So we leave it as 127 remainder 1. Finally, let's use short division method to divide this. We have 763 divided by 6 using the short division method. So we start from the left to the right. So we have 7 divided by 6 is 1. So 1 remainder 1. We'll take it to 6. Now it has become 16. How many times will 6 enter into 16? 2 times. But it will remain 4. So write 2 and you carry 4. So how many times will 6 enter into 43? That will be 7 times. So you have 127 remainder 1. In this lesson, we've learned 2 methods of solving 3-digit numbers divided by 3-digit numbers, which is the long division and the short division method. Take these questions and practice on your own, knowing that practice makes perfect. So keep on practicing.